grew stronger, until residents of Kyoto began to hear the disembodied head cry for its body to be returned to it. Deeply disturbed by the unnatural events that had plagued their town square since the head's arrival, the townsfolk concluded that Taira Masakado, the once fierce warlord, had become a Goryo. The term Goryo originally referred to an honorable spirit, but later came to be defined by the vengeful hauntings of aristocrats who were forced into a politically motivated and unjust death. Throughout Japan's history, times of political instability were harbingers of Goryo. Any of the people who died amidst these conflicts were considered capable of possessing rage so strong that it would bind them to the earth in a purgatory-like state, leaving them unable to be reborn into any of the 6 destinations of Buddhist cosmology. According to ancient scriptures, the only ways to tame a Goryo were through invocation of the Buddha, an exorcism performed by a Yamabushi shaman, or through powerful Inyo magic derived from Chinese Taoism. In these exorcisms, the spirits were manipulated and pacified, and their passion to remain in limbo and enact revenge would be extinguished. Of course, the stronger the Goryo and the stronger the rage, the harder it was to exorcise the spirit. A point of no return would eventually be reached. These so-called great spirits had to be appeased through deification and ritual worship. Cults formed for the most powerful Goryo, as it was said by ascetics that the only way to appease them was to worship the Goryo as gods. Strangely, Taira no Masakado, a member of the Kanmu Heshi clan, was not the first claimed Goryo in his family's lineage. Some 100 years prior, the 50th Emperor of Japan, Kanmu, accused his brother, Prince Sawara, of a coup d'etat to seize the throne, although it is speculated that this was a false claim. Prince Sawara was banished to exile, where he died. In the final years of Emperor Kanmu's life, his brother's spirit began appearing to him, whispering into his ears of impending death. To escape him, Emperor Kanmu moved Japan's capital twice and changed homes frequently. Unsuccessful in fleeing or exorcising his brother's vengeful ghost, he only found peace when he granted his brother the posthumous title of Emperor and named him a kami, a protective spirit. On a humid summer's day in the year 938, while Masakado still walked among the living as a brooding, plotting warlord, Kyoto's bustling marketplaces and side streets were suddenly overwhelmed by a cloud of white, black, and orange butterflies that blotted out the sky and brought darkness to the entire city. It's documented that the swarm almost perfectly coincided with an earthquake, which the emperor's monks saw as a clear omen that a rebellion was stirring. If only they had made the connection that the butterfly was the emblem of Taira no Masakado's clan, perhaps they may have executed him sooner. By the following winter, Masakado was declared an enemy of the state after seizing control of the provincial headquarters of Hitachi. He believed that his insurrection was fully justified, and during a conversation with his comrades, he claimed that, because of his blood relation to Emperor Kanmu, that he and he alone was the rightful heir to Japan's throne. During this historic conversation, Masakado's oracle interrupted, channeling the voice of the sun goddess, Amaterasu. We confer imperial rank upon our child, Taira no Masakado. A night spent with the sun goddess confirmed to the warlord that what his oracle had claimed was true. That was, of course, not the case. Moving on into the modern era, we have much more historical documentation to separate fact from fiction, and demonstrate that, whether or not you believe in the paranormal, tragedy and death seem to befall those who disrespect the grave of Masakado's head. In 1874, the newly crowned Emperor Meiji visited Masakado's shrine and removed his kami status, citing his rebellious and treasonous activities as justification. Masakado's shrine was torn down, and the head was relocated to a much smaller and more secluded shrine. Meiji was explicitly warned against desecrating the Great Spirit's burial mound, but he chose to ignore this advice. This event is said to have period Japan. Since the 1960s,